the reason why I want to get a job is maybe not the reason. I can't say the reason. Elon Musk had a job. He had a job. When if you read his book, um, written by, I forgot his name. There was one journalist who wrote a book about Elon. Um, so this man, when he first came to America from Canada, I believe he studied at Canada at some kind of university. Then he came to the United States. So when he first time came to the United States, he worked not only one job as a programmer in some kind of startup in a Silicon Valley. At night he worked as a programmer. I believe in the morning he worked at some kind of 9 to 5 job. After 5 o'clock he used to code at startup. All the startups, they don't really give a damn about like 9 to 5. They will work from sunrise to sunset, and again, yeah, he used to code at night on C++, I believe, some kind of yeah. So he was a coder at night and some kind of odd jobs in the morning. He worked couple of jobs. He used to sleep at office, I believe, as much as I can remember. What I want to say you is, look, if your goal is to get a job and work that job 9 to 5 for your rest of your life, for your entire life, that's when the problems begin. Do you understand? Because if you really just wanna, get a job to save up some money, or maybe you need money at the current moment, at the right now, because you are some kind of another country, your parents are not gonna supply for you, right? And maybe you are not living without your parents, but if you are, then you know what you need to do. It's obvious that you're not gonna, maybe your parents are supplying for you, maybe, I don't know. But one thing I know is that if you're in this kind of like really tough situations, you are gonna get a job. Even if you're not gonna watch this video, you're gonna get a job and build your business on the side. That's what I'm kind of trying to do, I believe. If I'm gonna get a job as a programmer in some kind of IT corporation or company, I would like to supply and sustain my mother. I know that this business shit is gonna work. I don't have any kind of doubts about it. Yet, I didn't get a job. So what I can do, I will use what I have. And what I have is access to internet. And accessing internet, I can DM to as much people a day as I can. And I am doing 50 to 60 people per freaking day DMing on Instagram. I got 2 or 3 replies today. Yes, these people are saying I don't really need for my own, but if somebody else around me is gonna need this website services, I will let them know about you. But we're doing progress. What I can say, I want to say that, bro, if your goal from getting a job is not to be a slave, I mean, even Luke Bellner, I can give you endless amount of examples, people who worked and then, not then, but I want to say there are people who worked a normal job. The fact that you are going to get a job doesn't mean that you are going to become a failure, or that you become a failure. It doesn't really mean that. Luke Bellmer, when he first came to America, he worked a lot of freaking odd jobs. Andrew Tate, he used to work some kind of, if you watch his Hustlers University video, which is like freaking 5 hours long, there's a bunch of them on YouTube for free. Someone just spoiled it. And he's gonna tell you that he worked in multiple jobs. He worked as a sales in some kind of companies. Even in his interviews, he have said that he worked as a sales in some kind of companies. when he was young. So there is nothing wrong with getting a job as soon as you have an aim and goal inside of your mind that you are not planning to be here for 40 years. As Luke Belmar said, if you watch his interview with, I don't quite remember, I'm sorry, but Elon Musk worked the job, Andrew Tate worked the job, Luke Belmar had a job, so worked a normal job, odd jobs. Jeff Bezos, before he founded Amazon, he worked as a normal job in some kind of corporation for a lot longer than all of these people I just said you. And he's the number 2 after Elon, the richest man in the world. But before Elon, who was the richest man in the planet? Bezos. Even if this man worked as a normal employee in a freaking company for a lot of years, he was 30 or 40 years old when he founded Amazon. I don't quite remember. I didn't read his story. I didn't read his book or anything. I just, on top of my head, from top of my head, just saying all this data. Google it. I'm not freaking whoever to tell you and give you advice. But when I say you, what I want to say you, okay, I gave you examples, right, of these people who had jobs and they become successful. So the fact that you are gonna get a job, I mean, these people, all these people on the internet, especially Andrew, Iman, these kind of people are gonna try to show you, getting a job and stuff, working 9 to 5 as a slavery or something. And it is slavery if you are continue being a slave. You decide if you want to work at this job until you retire. It's your decision. It's up to you. But if you decided that, okay, I'm gonna get a job to sustain for my family for a period of time until my business breaks through, because my average business needs about 3, 5, or 7 years to break through. Average man needs 7 years to become a millionaire. If you want to quit your business when you're gonna become a millionaire, then what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that, I believe. Yeah, there's different kind of people. There are people who want to get a job, save up some money, and then found and start their company. There are people who want to get a job because they are in difficult circumstances and situations. They want to get a job. They want to work a job and at the same time start their business on the side, do the business and the work together. That's, I think, more about me. I want to work as a normal job and continue doing my business. I don't want to stop it for a period of time. Not really. And yeah, especially because I want to get a coding job, it's going to be useful for both my business and my personal life also, because coding is a high value skill. Any kind of entrepreneur, any one of them are gonna say you and give you advice. Knowledge is the one thing which no one can take from you, and knowledge of coding is a freaking one of the most expensive knowledges which you can achieve and get. I mean, I know how to code, but not good enough. If I don't know how to code good enough to get a freaking job, then how the heck I'm gonna hire people, and how the heck I'm gonna determine if they are good people to hire, right? I don't want to hire someone and teach them how to code, like deal with like all these coding problems together with them. Not really. I want to hire someone and just do it on your own. And yeah, in the practice, in real time, all those coding interviews and stuff are gonna prepare me to get better at coding. And in addition to this, I'm gonna get a job in that company, inside of that company. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff. Well, the number one reason I have already said that I need some way or form to sustain, I think. And second reason, I want to learn a high value skill. Not learn, but I want to practice the high value skill which I have in real life. I learned how to code, but I want to now practice it and see how it, you know, how it's all about, you know, how the heck you use this information in real life, how the heck you apply all this information. And yeah, I mean, the the business which I have is related to this also, because I have a web design agency where I build websites for clients and web apps. And the job which I'm gonna get, it's probably gonna be about building web apps and websites, because I'm a front-end developer. So if I'm gonna get better at this gonna help, it's gonna be like a foundation of my next step, my business. And yeah, don't be afraid of getting a job. As soon as I believe that if you are not in difficult circumstances, when you need to or made to get an odd job, I would like you to get a job, some kind of job which is, like in my case, related to your business which you are building right now. All right. Maybe it's SMMA, maybe it's short form agency, maybe it's web design like mine. If you're doing this business, try to get a job which is related to your business. Of course, if you want to get a job at all, you get it. Okay, it's 17 minutes. I think that's enough. Peace.